I'm just gonna be waiting here for a minute while I wait for some people to get in and all that, and then ready to start. How was your day? Let's have a little bit of small talk. How was your day? Mine, I just woke up. It's 4:40 p.m. Just woke up. It's fine. It's fine. Um, I've been wanting to do this stream for a while, but I completely forgot about streaming entirely for a while. So I'm sorry about that to all my stream boys out there. Yeah. Good small talk. Anyways, let's get into the content. Hello, Slider Rider. Interesting name. Let's get into the content. Today, I am gonna be reviewing a Ben 10 horror fan film called Albedo with some cool little lettering. I was about a month ago. I was scrolling through the 18th channel, trying to find other content that I could steal, and I saw that there was this, and I was like, maybe I should like do the original one, like review the original one and see what I can put on there. So let's do that. It was created by Stan Hanrahan. Stan Hanrahan. I can't say that. So go check it out. So far, from what I can tell, I saw like a few seconds of it. It's really cool. A lot of good visual effects. So I'm cool to finally get to use some of my visual effects knowledge that I have. Accelerate. Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do frame by frame here. Okay, motion blur. But the thing itself didn't move. They were saving on the budget by just making it not move. I mean, wait, is that blood? Is that blood? I think that's blood. Right here. Okay. Scary. Whoa. I guess it was blood.
Matrix power recharged.
That was fast. The hell? What was that? Other 6 parts. They're all like a few minutes long.
Breaking news.
Police suspect a dangerous criminal is loose in Bellwood after a series of malicious, unprovoked attacks have occurred in the last 3 days. Survivors recall seeing a red flash and this red symbol, but are too traumatized to go into further detail. If you have any information that could lead to a possible arrest, do not hesitate to contact Crime Stoppers immediately. And remember...
Why is it dark? Or why is it saturated? Oh shit. Oh shit. That I actually got scared from that. That good job. Holy fuck. Also, fucking toy. They're using the toy omnimatrices, whatever. It's just so funny seeing the toys. I had every single one of these at one point. Also, I got a haircut, by the way. If anybody didn't notice. It's probably weird because, like, in the thumbnail, it's really long, but then here it's like, I didn't want to make a new one. Also, I'm wearing a red shirt for Albedo. So, I was thinking about wearing a white shirt with the red jacket that I always wear, but it's too hot for that in here. Spider monkey? Wait. Oh no, it's Big Joe. Really good job on the visual effects, by the way. Like, it's really good. Also, who likes Alien Force Waybag design? It's personally my favorite. I like how like sleek and like aerodynamic it is. Everyone else likes the, I think mainly the OV one, Omniverse one. But I like him. Oh. Go phase through, try and freeze him from the inside. And he's gonna break out of it. Oh no, he just de-transform. Oh. Oh, little baby ran out of power. Wait. Frame by frame. Where's the frame I want? It's somewhere around here. Whoa. Yes. They even made like the little tattoo have its own like little glow or whatever. If you see what I mean. That's really, really cool. That's a really cool like little detail that it really helps. Because it's like a lot of lines and some inner glow on the things, some texturing. Yeah, that looked really cool though. I like that. So far, this is really, really cool. Do you have ice in his? Is that ice? That's so funny if that is ice. That's so funny. Also, damn, he got long ass hair.
I'm gonna kill all of you.
Why?
Why?
Why are you doing this?
Why?
Alternator's power recharged.
Which why? Accelerate. Well, it's dark. Oh, it's dark.
Requesting backup for a possible national security threat at Strawberry Corner's office. Suspect is a white male adult. IAA has authorized the use of lethal force.
Yeah. This is pretty good. Of course, it's a green light.
What's up?
Hilarious. I need help from the plumbers. There's something going on that I can't understand.
Who the fuck? Who the fuck is that? Who? They what? Does anyone know who this is? I'm so confused.
Then how can we help?
It's Albedo. I'm used to him attacking me and trying to take the Omnitrix. But now he's randomly attacking civilians. And he told me he's gonna kill all of us.
Oh.
Then there's something we need to tell you.
I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be a dick. Visual effects are amazing. Story's amazing. Everything is amazing. It just the acting is a little subpar. I don't want to be a dick, but I'm supposed to be reviewing this, and I'm not gonna lie. It's a little subpar, but still, everything else is beautiful.
Smith wanted it to be kept a secret.
Cinematography, the lighting, everything, it's great.
You see, not long after Zenith left Azimuth, he found Albedo abandoned as an infant and raised him as his own son whilst he worked on the Omnitrix.
Is that canon? I don't know if that's
He
canon or
also
not.
taught Albedo how to engineer, and he became his lab assistant. Azimuth could see that Albedo was becoming a great inventor, but he also saw that his heart was full of greed. He wanted the Omnitrix for himself. But after his
Wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry.
heart was full of greed,
That's weird. They make it look like there's a lot of like detail on his face by adding texture, or by adding like a layer of texture, but it's not actually like it's not like actually like different like surfaces or everything. It's a smooth surface, but they added like lines and stuff to make it look like there's texturing to save resources, obviously. But it's just weird. Like in Roblox games, a lot of games do that, where they'll have a lot of games will do that where they have just the model, and then they'll just put something over top the model layer or over top the model stand or whatever to make it look like it has more texture. When in reality, it's just one smooth part. And sometimes it can look good, but oftentimes in Roblox, at least, it looks terrible. Here, it doesn't look bad. It's just interesting. I wanted to point that out. At least I think that's what it is. Not sure.
Azimuth refused and sent it away to the plumbers instead.
See, we know her.
So when Albedo found out Asmund allowed a human child to keep the prototype, he was out.
Also, it's really hard to understand what she's saying. It's kind of like Bane in in The Dark Knight Rises. It's like, oh yes, I'm gonna destroy the sun. It's like he laid out the entire movie plot whenever he was doing that meeting with Dadian, just for us to not be able to understand.
Enraged and full of hatred for the human race, he stole an Omnitrix core and left the planet, headed for Earth, and, well, you know the rest.
Why are they T-posing? Why is that one locked? Why does it show it if it's locked? Maybe he like hacked it to try to hack the playlist that's locked. I don't know. 12K likes for part 4. How many did it get? 24,000. Maybe I should ask for 12K likes. Today, airplane. It kind of looked like it was nose diving. That's not scary at all. I'm guessing that's stock footage. Yeah, it's stock footage. Great use of stock footage. Genuinely, that is so funny. Oh my, that is wow. The way that they did that. Wow. I'm impressed. That is amazing. Oh shit. That is amazing use of stock footage. Wow. It would have been great if you just heard them like screaming, like as it was going down. That would have been great. Like just like little like muffled like, you know. I think that would have added a little bit more to it. But goddamn, that was amazing what they did with that footage. That was crazy. Next part. Let's go. Okay, I was like, what the hell happened? What did I miss?
Transformation locked from playlist.
That sounded really accurate to the...
Transformation locked from playlist.
Did they get Yuri to do that line? That sounded really, really close to what it sounds like in the show. And in the show, it's Yuri's voice that does it.
Are you sure you want to unlock this transformation?
That fucking door knock, dude. They're trying to get me to be scared, but I know it's not going to be Albedo. Okay, now I'm worried. I was wrong. I was wrong. Hi, buddy. Why wasn't his first instinct to grab the Omnitrix? Terrible story writing perspective. He totally would have been like, the second he saw that would have been bah! Instant reflexes. Uh-huh. Oh, the failsafe. firing off.
Azimuth is next.
Jesus, that's a deep voice. That's a deep ass voice. You know, I think that was the failsafe from like when, you know.
Here's a message to everybody watching.
Yeah, they did get
the
Yuri.
Albedo series. Thanks for watching Albedo Part 4. Thanks for loving Ben 10. Thanks to Stan for combining two of my favorite things, Ben 10 and horror movies. So, all right, everybody.
The fact that I can like guess this shit is so, or the fact that I just recognize his voice all the time, no matter what it is. I like it could be him ordering a cup of coffee and I'll fucking recognize it. It is so stupid how good I know his voice. That was a little wonky. Hold on. So you see this, obviously this character here, the Albedo character, and this Omnitrix core are all 3D. That's all 3D. But what he is wearing on his wrist in the actual shot that they recorded is not 3D. That is real, which is why which is why this core is sliding around so much, because he's trying to keep it in the character's hands, but it's a little hard to do when you don't have a lot of time to do something like that. So, like sliding around a little bit, if you saw that. Everyone in the chat is like, "Oh my god, Alien X, Alien! Oh my god!" I'm pretty sure it is. Yes. The fuck? I thought it was just gonna bust through the wall. I forgot that he'd face. So he locked the failsafe from working. And then he also locked Homo sapien as a transformation. But that wouldn't matter unless that wouldn't matter for a human, because you'll turn into a Homo sapien no matter what. It reverts you back to your default form. Bro is dead for real. Light at the end of the tunnel. The whole tunnel is light. He's already gone. Fuck. Ah, he's wearing a little suit too. Oh, it's cute. The fuck? Oh damn, God really did him a favor. Oh, they have one of the I know that they don't have a toy anymore. They have one of those cool like magnetic ones that you can buy on eBay or something. Someone makes like really cool replicas of the Omnitrix, and it looks really cool, and it's magnetic, so you can take it on and off really easily. Anyways, I just want to point that out. It's really cool.
Ben, it's so good to finally see you again, kid. I've been waiting a very long time.
Grandpa.
Grandpa?
That's right, Ben. Welcome home.
Where are you? Why can't I see you?
You have to cross over, Ben. Your time on Earth is finished.
No.
What do you mean?
Refuse.
I'm dead?
I'm
Yes,
dead.
Ben.
Oh shit.
You're dead. You did your absolute best, and I'm so proud of you. But you don't have to wear the Omnitrix anymore.
That's a very familiar voice as well, but I'm not gonna say that it was the Grandpa Max voice, just in case it's not. But it sounds a lot like.
No, I can't. He's gonna kill Azimuth. I have to go back.
That's out of your control now, Ben. You did all you could. The Omnitrix is gone.
That might be it. That might be it.
don't have
I'm
to
not gonna
worry.
lie. That might be him.
No one can stop him without the Omnitrix.
It's going to be
What he
okay.
said about Vilgax.
Come home.
Now he's dead. Now he's just in purgatory. He refuses to walk over to heaven, so he's like, fuck you. God's like, fuck you. Oh, they kind of look like moons. I wonder if that was intentional. Wait, when did he change into his jacket? I'm confused. When did Ben turn British? I don't know. Oh, that's a Vodax.
Put the whole planet in lockdown mode.
Okay,
and
that's.
arm all defense systems. No one gets on or off.
I thought that was Vodax,
no
but I just.
Ben Tennyson is dead, and the Omnitrix is destroyed.
That sounds like Vodax. Like, it even has like a little gargoyle at the end of the sentences too.
Albedo is coming for me, and he's not gonna stop until he kills me. He's dangerous and hell-bent on revenge.
It just doesn't have like that in it, you know. But if it had that, it'd be like, this is gonna sound terrible probably because I can't do a Vodax, but Ben Tennyson.
All because I wouldn't let him have this stupid Omnitrix.
Oh, because I wouldn't let him have the Omnitrix.
He's gone and made a cheap knockoff, and you all know what kinds of DNA he has access to. Polaris, if Albedo kills me, detonate Primus immediately.
Good Azimuth. Primus is
immediately.
Who is that? That's not a canon character. It's bullshit.
Establishing link to go downstream.
Oh yeah, they can get rid of Primus because they don't need it for that Omnitrix. It's all in the Omnitrix, which is really cool. I really like that.
So if you save my conscience, why can't you just fix the Omnitrix and save my body?
The mere fact that the Omnitrix has sampled the DNA of our race in the first place is just belittling. I refuse to fix it.
But Bellicus, the existence of the Omnitrix introduced us to Ben Tennyson.
And now he's dead. Trapped with us for eternity. Motion to fix the Omnitrix denied.
I've done so much good with the Omnitrix.
Motion to make you
If you
a
don't
nice
do
guy.
something, Albedo's gonna kill Azimuth and many others.
Azimuth is the condescending Galvin that dared to sample the celestial sapient race for his Omnitrix. Good riddance.
Albedo is the one that was trapped with us for a year. He wasn't very nice.
This is a different timeline. This is the timeline. This is the timeline. That's why Albedo's so fucked up in this one. And I guess that's also why he still has the Ultimatrix, because he got stuck as Alien X for a year, and then, you know, because of that, he wasn't able to team up with Vilgax, and then Vilgax got his ass kicked in the final season of Alien Force. And so, that's a very big compound of events. So basically, in this, like, Ben should have the Ultimatrix, but because Albedo was trapped, he couldn't get it.
We'll probably be back if
It's
you
that
don't stop
timeline.
him.
I don't ever want to see Albedo again. Motion to fix the Omnitrix and save Ben Tennyson.
Motion denied. I told you, Serena. I refuse to fix that device.
Well, don't fix it. Just fix me, and I'll find another way to stop him.
Motion to restore Ben Tennyson's body?
Fine. So long as we don't ever have to deal with Albedo again. Motion carried.
Yeah. Bro, shorts on? Hey, it's John. This is really good. This is really, really good.
Kevin. Kevin, you there? Kevin.
Ben Tennyson Plumber Badge active.
Ben's alive?
Life
Tough son of a
preservation
bitch.
fail-safe installed. Omnitrix on course to planet Earth.
That's funny. He did it. He stand it on the actual lock of like the key lock of the garage door. Stand there. That's really funny. I like that. He did. Oh shh. I was like, oh, I just aren't gonna show it because I just they didn't want to. They didn't want to be like too graphic. Why is he watching in a field? Why does he have shorts on? Why is he jacked as hell? Why is he ripped? Must be a satellite. Okay, just real quick here. It slowed down as it got to the ground. Like if you look, that great shot, great speed. But you should have heard right about here. You should have heard a big impact noise, and then it should have cut to it in a crater. They shouldn't have done this next shot. Because it slowed down as it got to the ground, and then it had a huge explosion. That's just not how physics works. I definitely think it would have been better if they did that. Boom! Cut to it on the ground in the crater, or whatever that shot would be. Basically not this shot. Anything but this shot. Like that. That would have been great if you just... You know? That would have been amazing, but... Yeah. Look at that CG fire. Actually, it should.
disconnect Albedo's Ultimatrix from Primus. I mean, surely there's a way he can do that without blowing it up, right? How would he get the Ultimatrix?
Oh shit. Wrong thing. Alright. That was pretty cool. I made a few points in there. I'm gonna see what Achiro's probably gonna go super in depth with it because that's kind of his thing. But we're gonna be watching this. Well, I don't know if I said that, but yeah, I'm gonna watch this because I want to see what everything he like little nitpicks about it, as well as see if I noticed something before he says it. That way I can feel smarter about myself.
Hey everyone, Turtles
Anyways.
here. So the Ben 10 breakdown format has been dominating this channel the past few years. I take each episode from the series and analyze them, talk about its writing, the animation, the community, fun facts, and pretty much anything you can imagine. But today we're gonna do something a little bit different and break down our first fan project, none other than Stan Hanrahan's Albedo Horror 5-part series. Stan's currently on his way to 1 million subscribers, and it's well earned with his dedication to his content and his creative ways he uses VFX to bring the Ben 10 multiverse to life. If you haven't seen his Albedo series before, you should check it out first, as a new episode has just dropped today, which takes everything that he's done before and pushes it to the next level. It's incredible to see the evolution of his content over the years, starting from short and simple fan content to extremely impressive CGI shots.
It is really, really
stuff
cool,
I
like
can
I
even
said.
see in official video games or CGI movies like Destroy All Aliens. His skills are massively improving with every upload, including his understanding of cinematography, as he's also becoming an excellent filmmaker in general. I've always been hesitant to do breakdowns of fan content, mostly because I don't want to set the precedent that this is something I'm going to do often, but it also feels a little bit unfair to be as brash and critical as I can be about fan projects compared to how I usually am about the show proper, which is funded by a multi-million-dollar studio like Cartoon Network, which has dozens upon dozens of professionals working on a project at any given time. But Stan's content has broken the barrier and became widely known and respected by the community. So when he asked me to make this video, I'm sure he knows what to expect when I start doing my thing. So I'm going to watch through all 5 parts with the old Kuro critical eye. I'm gonna take it seriously. I'm gonna do a deep dive, but I'm still gonna try to be fair and reasonable. As I watch, I'm also gonna be putting together
Respect. Don't be a nice guy. Be an asshole. Tear their channel apart. That's how you get better. You have to tear them apart, build them back up.
a
Fuck your
list of questions to interview Stan afterwards, so make sure you stick around at the end for that too. You know something that never even occurred to me. That's awesome that you're considering the lore that deep. He's also been sending me a bunch of behind the scenes videos to go along with these questions. So
Again, like the whole, I'm guessing what they were talking about there with the lore is the whole Albedo being trapped in it for a year or whatever kind of timeline. That is really fucking cool.
Fan of Stan, Ben 10, or just indie.
And I didn't want to go like too in depth with that because I feel like I'm here to react. I'm not here to really talk about stuff, and I'm sure Kuro's done that.
Filmmaking in general, you're not gonna want to miss this.
Andy's coming.
Stan's also giving away one of the Omnitrix props he's made for the series. There's gonna be 5 aliens hidden throughout his video of Albedo 5, along with 5 aliens hidden right here in my video as well, making 10 aliens total. This will make a full playlist. The first person to find all 10 aliens and complete the playlist must email the address at the bottom of the screen below, writing down all the timestamps of where you found each alien. These aliens can be hidden anywhere in this video, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled. And I'll give you a hint, you've probably already missed one. It's been a while since I've seen some of these episodes, but I didn't want to rewatch them until I was recording so I could have more of a genuine response and reaction. And with part 5, this is also the first time I've ever done a breakdown on something I've never seen before, so that'll be fun. I'm super excited to get into this, so without further ado, part 1 of Stan's Albedo Horror series. There we go, sliding right into part 1.
Sliding right in.
Now you can tell right here, Stan's got pretty good attention to detail. You see a little bit of dust kick up once he comes on in. It's very small, easy to do, but you'd be surprised how a lot of people skip out on those little details.
Huh. Me and him had a completely different response to that opening shot. His response was about all the the little particles and stuff that he did, which is a really, really big thing. But I was more focused on what he didn't do. That's interesting.
And it really does help. Same with the sound effect accuracy. That is the sound effect that Albedo uses to transform an Ultimate Alien. Stan's Albedo does lean a little bit heavier into the UAF era in terms of visual and sound design, but of course you gotta pay Omniverse some respects too, which we'll be getting to later on. So this is Albedo. Oh, I love Stan's look already. Stan's just a cool looking dude, honestly. Like, he makes this shit look easy. The reds of the eyes, the blood, and the shirt all match within the same shot. Another great blending technique.
Yeah, it does. You're right. That's a really, really good point.
And that's a great reveal there, too. You see this mysterious patch of blood on his face, and his hand raises into the shot to reveal it's from wiping blood. And then you see more on the Ultimatrix in his hand, so it's just like, ooh, what happened here? Good stuff. That was a nice little focus shot right there too. It's tricky to go from a panning shot to back into a still shot. That's actually some pretty handy camera operation there.
Ultimatrix power recharged.
I feel like the Ultimatrix voice could have been a little louder there though. Interesting, Albedo would have a voice command programmed to let him know when it's recharged too. So here we have this version of Ben in Stan's Albedo continuity here, played by his friend Lane, who's in, at this point, probably over half of his videos. In fact, I feel like Lane's kind of become the star of his videos, and it's probably so Stan can make sure he can line up the shots and get the VFX stuff. Totally get it. It's much easier to create the presentation you want when you're behind the scenes, so it's necessary to have other actors in there. And Lane does a pretty good job, too. He looks great on camera. He commits to it. Awesome job, Lane. And you can see we've got the UAF design for the smoothie cup here. Right now, he's still using Omnitrix merchandise as a prop. This is the deluxe Omnitrix right here. I used to have that one myself.
We all had that one.
Actually,
I got that one for my 5th birthday. I remember I lost it when I was in or I didn't lose it. It fell off. I was climbing around in Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't think this is the deluxe one. The deluxe one had like a silver reflective ring. I think this is the first one.
All right, I have the names all kinds of confused. There's a bunch of Omnitrix toys, so let me just get this right.
Oh boy.
The deluxe Omnitrix was the name of a classic series toy,
which I have right now in my closet.
I also did have that one too, so that's what
I had every single
one. The very
one.
first Alien Force Omnitrix toy was called the Alien Force Omnitrix X10. Then they re-released it with an Alien X voice sound effect and some improvements to it, like the silver ring and everything. That was called the Ultimate Omnitrix. And then the third one coming up, we'll see, is called
I had this one, which the one that I had a purple light instead of a white one. I don't know why it did. Maybe it was like a special edition or something. I don't know, but mine had a purple light. I didn't have I kind of wish I would have had the silver one, but I didn't. But yeah, I had one with a purple light in it instead of a white one, which I hated. So I traded it to someone who had a white one. Probably got scammed. Who knows? And then I also had this one. I remember this one. The dial doesn't turn all the way. It like turns a little bit, and then it'll like spring back and turn it the other way and spring back. And if you do a certain combination, you can get certain effects. Like if you do it, I think 3 to the left, it'll turn red.
Ultimate Ultimatrix. So there you go.
Police suspect a dangerous criminal is loose in Bellwood after
And
a
then
series of malicious...
there were also all of those like projector ones, which is stupid. And then the ones with like the thing where you put it in, where you put like the little chip in, whatever.
Unprovoked attacks have
There's a lot
occurred in the last 3 days.
Honestly, props for him to get somebody to play a news actor too. That could have just been him or Lane since it's off screen, but having a female voice subtly shows how expansive the cast is becoming in Stan's productions.
I didn't even think about that.
Survivors recall seeing a red flash and this red symbol, but are too traumatized to go into further detail. If you have any information...
Although this right here, when he's like turning up the volume, I don't really hear much of a volume adjust. It's like, here's before it.
I thought the exact same thing.
Seeing a red flash.
And then afterwards.
If you have any information that could lead...
Maybe a little
it's,
bit.
It's slightly...
I would have had that shit super...
Yeah, it's slightly louder, but I would have had it be like lower than what it was at the start. And then it would have been like substantially louder. It would have been like probably...
afterwards.
If you have any information...
It would have been louder than that. Like it would have been...
like here's before it.
Survivors recall seeing a...
yeah, I would have made that like...
red flag.
And then
that loud. And then for this, I would have made it...
afterwards.
If you have any information that...
or maybe it's slightly a bit less. But yeah, like I would have made it something like that.
Maybe a little bit, but like I would have had that shit super low so that when he turns it up, it's more significant because he still could have heard it.
Contact Crime Stoppers immediately.
I'm not sure what this footage is though. I don't know if Stan put that there or this was just something that was on TV. I love that you could see the color grading shift to a more horror blue as he walks out the door. Hey. Way big. That's such a cool shot,
it's
too.
So
cool.
cool.
Put that on a shirt or something. Oh, wait. Another great thing about this shot, too, is Stan's very aware of atmospheric diffusion. See how, like, there's the darks of the trees and then the darks on the Toku star. The fact that he's more faded and blending into the clouds makes him look that much more far away. It's not the fact that he just plopped him in there and the scale is enough to show you how big it is. It's the way that it's clouded out by all of the atmosphere in the sky. And the lighting changes in sync with the lightning as well. You can see it's the UAF Toku star design as well. We're leaning very UAF heavy for this episode.
I love UAF. It's great.
And the Omnitrix and eyes piercing through all of that. That's very intimidating. Although now that we know that the reveal shot of Ben coming out here, showing off the Toku star, I feel like we could have gotten a little bit more fear coming out of Lane here. Or maybe that's the point. Like, you know, Ben's just like, oh, here's fucking Albedo again. When will this guy ever...
Will this guy ever learn his lesson? Hold on. Like... Fun. Like, la-di-da-da, Omnitrix. What the hell? God, what can you ever learn your lesson for real, for real? Oh God, I'm gonna beat your ass. Didn't I? Maybe that could have been it for sure. I just have to stand for now because I don't feel like grabbing my chair.
Learn. So maybe the lack of fear in the face is intentional, but just for the sake of making the scene dramatic, I would have had him look a little bit more scared. It's also the first one, you know? I believe in an interview, Stan said this was just going to be a one and done.
The first one was called Albedo Ben 10 Horror. I didn't expect it to be a series.
So they probably weren't as like pledged to making sure that this is like a standout video until they started adding on part 2, part 3, and all of that. You know, Stan does a lot of one-off experimental videos. In fact, his most popular one, I think, is like Ben turning into Spider-Man.
What the hell? Bullshit.
Maybe you are the real Spider-Man.
That's pretty cool, so all the power to you, Stan. Also just realized, like, trying to get him behind those tree leaves, that must have been a little bit frustrating. My guess to do this with ease is if this was actually a clear sky, all he has to do is key out the sky and throw that way bat in there. But if he really had to, like, rotoscope out those trees, like, ugh, that's a lot.
I didn't think about that.
Ugh, beautiful. When he activates the Omnitrix, you can see the wire patterns lighting up, too. That's
I thought about that as well.
What's even cool about that
is
the fact that the toy doesn't come with those. I think it's just like...
Yeah, I know. It's such a fucking little detail,
silver
dude.
metal, so he had to put those in there, track him to the shot, make sure his fingers don't overlap them. A lot goes into something like this, but you're distracted by looking at the holograms. Not too much of a fan of how Spider Monkey's tail just kind of sticks out. You know, he's probably just taking the default T-pose, the Spider Monkey model is in there, and throwing it on there, but I would have at least bent the tail a little bit just because it's a bit distracting for me. Spider Monkey brainstorm, big chill. 5K likes for a part 2. All right, so I guess they did have an inkling of like a second part. Like they were open to that idea, but I don't think they had one fully conceptualized before this. Although they did make the shirts too. I don't know. Although the shirts could have came after the video success as well. How much of a part 2 did Stan really have planned? I'm gonna make sure I ask him that. But yeah, for a part 1, not much really happens. Albedo slides up as Accelerate, which upon retrospect, maybe Accelerate could have used like a little bit more of a significant Albedo palette swap. But it works, it's just a quick shot. Accelerate rolls up, Albedo's walking through after some bloody massacre. Ben hears about his return, steps out of his house, and boom, there's Waybig. So yeah, in terms of like a plot or a story, there's really not much going on here, so I can't really talk about it. But again, it's part 1, no big plans for part 2. Same with characterization or any of the other categories I usually have for a breakdown. But I feel like that's what a lot of Stan's videos are, a loose plot or a setting as an excuse to try out a new visual effect. At least that's my interpretation of it. Where Stan probably has like an idea of a shot he wants to do or a concept he wants to do, and you create just enough so that a video works, but he's not overdoing it. And honestly, I think that's pretty smart. You get a lot of videos out a lot quicker. You get to practice your visual effects. And as you'll see, if you go through Stan's videos, years upon years as the channel progresses, he is learning with every single upload. There's always something new, whether it's like a visual effect, a cinematography trick, sometimes even just adding more people in. He's got other Bens, he had a Gwen somewhere. I think that's in this series or not. It's been a bit since I've seen these.
Yeah, I was wrong. Gwen was in the Mad Ben video, but that would be a cool one to see a follow-up on too.
So Albedo part 1 is just a stepping stone, gets the ball rolling on the concept of a horror Albedo. There's some clear effort put into this. Now let's see where
a little
part
bit
2
of blood
goes.
coming out of the mouth.
Before I even click play, in the very first frame, you can see it's picking up right where the last shot was. In fact, just for the hell of it, and I'm sorry to taint your work, Stan, after the flash, what if we cut right here? Cut a little bit off the first here too, so I have some frames to work with. Slid them together, and just a bare bones transition. And then we got something like this. a 10-second edit. It doesn't look that great, but the idea is like the first video continuing right into the second. In fact, once all of this is over, Stan could probably make just an Albedo horror full film instead of dividing it up in parts, because at least between part 1 and 2, it's a direct continuation rather than 2 isolated stories. But let's see if that continues. I love the small camera shake as we're getting closer to the way bad here. Another really good sense of scale. Big Chill shoots right into the frame and then practically disappears with his small size, showing you how freaking gigantic this Toku star is. And I love that Big Chill's wings are flapping too. It's not a bad Big Chill model as well. And I know later on Stan has his own modeler to make him things specifically. I don't know if he's working with that person yet, so I don't know where this Big Chill model came from, but it's not bad.
It reminds me a lot of the model from the Alien Swarm movie. Like a slightly lower detailed version of that.
Swap the texture on the wings though, make it a little bit more of a smooth cloth fabric, but it works a lot on the body because of that very rough exoskeleton look to this insectoid being. Breathing down. There's a little bit of disconnect between the ice breath and the mouth, and the shot does hold for a few seconds, so it's a little bit noticeable. Freezes aim for the frill on the top of the head. That's right.
I thought that was the I thought that was the leg that he shot at. I didn't realize it was the frill.
It's the frill at the top of the head.
Ooh. And the intangible effect is pretty cool. It
Yeah,
makes him
that's
look
really
like
good.
he's made of ice. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but the texture combined with switching to like a translucent blue, he looks like a crystal ice statue. I think that's really cool. Phases right into him. This effect right here, I've seen that effect in many other places.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen that too.
I frickin' live for stock footage effects. If you've ever seen And Beyond, that shit is caked with stock footage effects, because I can't make something like this from the ground up, but I've seen so many, I'm starting to recognize where they come from. But yeah, Big Chill phases in there, freezes the whole Toku star. This feels a little bit more of like a metal texture than like as if he's ice. Like I can tell what's happening because I know Big Chill and I know what he does, but as for just looking at this image right here, I wouldn't say this looks like he's covered in ice.
I can see that, yeah.
Shatters. This looks pretty neat though. I like how this looks.
It looks like it turns into liquid a little bit. Oh, jury rig right there.
Oh, that one kind of flew by.
Little thing right there.
Oh, okay. There.
If anyone missed all 10 aliens that were thrown in the video.
I was gonna say, like, that one was super short compared to the first one. So that ice got shattered. Albedo's now transformed back to his Ben form. Looks freaking awesome. I love this whole look for Stan right here. Now we got Ben. This is a really nice shot with the sun coming down on him. Is that ice? Oh, that's kind of cool if it is. Like,
yeah,
they brought
I know,
out
right?
real ice and put it on top of Stan, so it shares the continuity with transforming back from the Toku star. That's a good detail.
Yeah.
Now it's much darker. See how much darker it immediately gets from this shot to here? That's how you can tell they've been filming for at least like 30 minutes to an hour.
I'm gonna kill all of you.
Oh, yes. Not the killing part, the shot part.
Oh,
This is just, it's really dope.
Blood.
The framing is nice too. I wonder if he's like running back and forth between the camera to make sure it lines up, or like if he's got a third guy who's a cameraman who's helping him out with this. Because this is a very well composited shot. He also could have just gotten lucky.
Why? Why are you doing this?
Lucky.
Ultimatrix power recharged.
Yeah, there's that voice again. He's got a little voice notification letting him know every time the Ultimatrix is recharged. And this, of course, is the ultimate Ultimatrix toy.
Yep.
I've had that too, but painted red. And some visual effects, of course. I do love that Stan eventually starts having his own props made.
Where do you get your Ben 10 equipment? I make it. I used to buy the toys. Now I have a 3D printer.
But it's also kind of cool just as a Ben 10 fan to like recognize what
those
merchandise
things, yeah.
is used where. And
Just show how much of a fucking nerd you are. It's so great, you know?
Something that I was like, oh, I bought that off a Walmart shelf or something. Now, like, in a very well-produced fan film, I would say. Some cool visual effects and stuff. That's neat to me. Accelerate. And again, I would have just bent down the arms and curled the tail a little bit more. But if you notice, when he activates the Ultimatrix, there is light reflecting on him. And then when he smacks it down, there's even a rim of light around the edges of the red. Really good looking stuff.
That
Red
is really, really
flashes
smart.
right on him. That's almost too good of a light change right there, though, to be entirely digital. I'm wondering if he's like shining a flashlight on it.
The cheapest way to go about it is to, while you're in the shot, you have a light that you throw in, like, you know when in Star Wars, whenever they're holding up a lightsaber like right here, and they did a close up of the face, and you see like the like blue or red light like on one side of their face, they don't visual effects that in. They literally just grab a lamp, put a colored light bulb in there, and turn it on. You know, so I mean, with
too good of a light change, the edges of light
with
reflecting on
that, it is a little like quick, or like it's like really fast. I'm not exactly sure. It's very well possible that they did do this in post, but usually whenever you have a shot like that, you just grab a light and we'll shine it on in the shot just to make the visual effects easier.
And then when he smacks it down, there's even a rim of light around the edges of there, though. To be entirely digital, I'm wondering if he's like...
This obviously is with the light and then some visual effects, like lens flares or whatever thrown in there.
Like shining a flashlight on him or something to get that splash of color on Lane here. It happens so fast, too. Good stuff.
I'm not a professional visual effects artist, but I know a few things because of 4-Door. So, yeah. And also just from other things. Oh, wait, I didn't realize the shot before. It's literally just them in a car, but they're like... It's not an actual car. It's really smart. It's a really, really smart thing. I didn't think about it whenever I first saw it. But now that I'm in like breakdown mode or whatever, I'm noticing that's just literally them in their car with some lights from off the screen.
I don't know if that's an Easter egg or not, the strawberry corners.
Suspect is a white male adult.
Okay, part 2. For one, I love the fact that he's having Patreon growth since the first part. Good for you, Stan. You deserve it. Yeah, this one seems like it's got a little bit more of a narrative to it. There's the way big versus big chill fight, small sense of confrontation. Albedo tries to escape with Accelerate. That's the second time he uses Accelerate. I think this one had a lot more ambition with it, like the full-scale CG battle. Something like that wasn't in the first part, where it was more or less just live action with some special effects here and there. This one had a bigger spectacle. It was a lot more demanding. And because of that, some of the CG techniques that Stan's still experimenting with are more prominent because he's not just altering pre-existing footage, he's creating it from the ground up. But I mean, for a Ben 10 fan film, there's really nothing like it right now. Like, Stan's got the market on lock. And a lot of it's pretty good too, like, not even just for a fan film. Like, I love every time he does the red eyes. It's a simple effect, but it's also very easy to get wrong and look goofy. He makes that shit look good. The holograms and tracking, that's one of Stan's strengths, is he's really...
The tracking is really good. There was only one time when there was any jank at all with tracking. And that was in that shot where Albedo was ripping out the Omnitrix core after he killed Ben. That was the one time there was some jank with tracking throughout the entire thing. It's insane. It's really, really cool.
Really good at tracking too. And he's only gonna get better from here. So we're on part 3 now. Released about a month later. So it took him a little bit longer than last time. Let's see where he goes from here. Big fan of the backwards E. So this one has some passage of time. While part 2 linked directly into part 1, this is a whole scene change.
Let's see if Turo knows who the hell this is.
Oh, okay. We got a little side character here, probably just another plumber.
Polaris. I need help from the plumbers.
Polaris?
Polaris.
It's not a Ben 10 character.
Yeah.
But I do like that name. Where does that come from? A bright star at the end of the handle of the Little Dipper in the constellation Ursa Minor. That's pretty cool. Dwayne did say that a lot of the naming conventions they use, at least for the Galvins in Ultimate Alien Force, was to use stars and constellations as a reference. And even though this isn't a Galvin, or it could be in a suit, I don't know. I like that we're getting a taste of that naming scheme there.
I need help from the plumbers. There's something going on that I can't understand.
Okay, so it is a plumber. So I take it this is Stan's Continuity's version of a plumber suit.
Anything, Ben. How can we help?
It's a little distracting. There's no fade from the hologram here. It just immediately cuts off, but it's not terrible.
It's Albedo. I'm used to him attacking and trying to take the Omnitrix. But now he's randomly attacking civilians.
It's true. Albedo's MO has changed.
And he told me he's gonna kill all of us.
Again, I would have added a little bit more fear in there. I think you could see Lane, like, he looks down twice. I don't know if that's just, like, what he's doing or if, like, he's, like, checking the script or something. But, man, he's really pulling off that jacket.
He does rock that jacket, I will admit. And with his big-ass fucking arms.
That was a little hard to understand.
He found Albedo, abandoned as an infant.
Okay, so Albedo is significantly younger than Azimuth in this continuity. Azimuth finds Albedo as a child. style. This is still Stan's old azimuth model. He gets a new one later on, which looks phenomenal. I like the scaly texture on the skin though.
And raised him as his own son whilst he worked on the Omnitrix.
Yeah, the filter makes it pretty hard to understand. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And raised him as his own son whilst he worked on the Omnitrix.
He raised him as his own son when he worked on the Omnitrix. If you're voicing a character that's going to have a filter, it's very important to make sure you get like those solid enunciation. Like every syllable, all the inflections, it should be very clear, almost overly clear, because once you start caking on the filters, you start taking that away more and more. And this seems like a very important, vital scene, so it's important to get the dialogue as clear as can be.
He also taught Albedo how to engineer, and he became his lab assistant.
That's a cool shot. Like this moving still frame. In fact,
Yeah.
this right here, if you look at it, looks like it's the Omnitrix, but like a very rough version.
Oh,
There's no outer shell.
I was
to it.
wondering what that was, but yeah, no, I can totally see it. The button, the core. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
But you can see it, like the general shape there. That's awesome.
Asmith could see that Albedo was becoming
Yeah, that's a really good eye.
But he also saw that his heart was full of greed.
That's really cool. You turn and then this disturbing image of like this horrific
Oh, I didn't
face
see that
behind him.
back
His
there.
internalized evil
I
side.
was too focused on the skin texture.
Is starting to manifest as he ponders over the possibility of him using the Omnitrix.
He wanted the Omnitrix for himself. Asmith refused and sent it away.
I like that he's animating this character too. Like despite
Yeah.
just being a hologram, Polaris is moving her arms and stuff.
And sent it away to the cloners.
Xylene, really expanding the cast here. That's dope that Xylene's in this. She's got the Omnitrix pod and everything.
So when Albedo found out Asmith allowed a human child to keep the prototype, he was outraged and full of hatred for the human race.
So here, Albedo's taking his hatred and jealousy of Ben and letting it flourish into like a species-wide hatred of humans. That's something that didn't happen in the original show, but you know, alternate universe. You also hear that Ben is an adult in this continuity.
Suspect is a white male adult.
So any inconsistencies or whatever with the show, the fact that it's an alternate universe, they have a lot of creative liberty, and I think that's what the strength of fan projects has come from, seeing people's own interpretation of the franchise.
He stole an Omnitrix core and left the planet headed for Earth.
Could have used some stars in the shot of the Earth, though.
Oh yeah, good point. Or maybe a moon.
There's Albedo. What is that? Is that
Blitzwolfer? No, it's Blitzwolfer, yeah.
Look at that. That had to have been custom made. In fact, a lot of these are, like Xylene, Albedo, Azimuth. They're all made just for this project. Still using the merchandise as props, though. We're not there yet. Goop. Spider Monkey. No Galvin, though. I do like how the holograms slightly spin around, though. Yeah, so this whole episode is very different from part 1. It is all plot heavy. It's basically Albedo's origins for this continuity. There's a lot of base elements that are from the main show, but there are some clear differences. Azimuth being the one who raised Albedo, them working on the Omnitrix together. It doesn't seem like Myax is part of the picture, but then he would have to go out and find a CG Myax and, you know, screw that. Albedo is a lot more evil and a lot more murderous in this continuity as well. Albedo's character and motivations in the Prime franchise are usually directly tied to Azimuth and the relationship he develops with Ben, where it turns from a jealousy to a rivalry to full-on hatred, and yeah, then he tries to enslave Galvin Mark II and all that. But in this
just little side. Yeah, no, jealousy to hatred, wanting to kill him. Then he just, you know, enslaved his whole entire race. Just nothing big.
Continuity, it's implied that Albedo has always been evil, or always had this bubbling bloodlust within him, and his motivations expand to disliking the entire human race just because of Ben. It's not sound logic, but no villains are. Like, villains, they'll take their ideals, slap on some motivation, and pretend it justifies that. So, I talked a little bit about this in my malware breakdown, where a villain doesn't have to be right for their motivations to make sense. So, Albedo's motivation to take down the human race because of his jealousy of Ben, that's the story that Albedo tells himself to justify what he's doing. And I think that's a cool twist on it, you know? Taking an Omnitrix bearer and making them full-on evil, we kind of got that with Eon in the animated show, but Eon didn't transform, so it didn't really feel like it. The fact that Eon was an alternate Ben never seemed to matter at all. Whereas here, it's like we got a true evil Ben, an evil Omnitrix user, and I'm digging it. It's different, and I like it. Let's see where this goes in part 4. Hey folks, hope you're enjoying the video. I just want to remind y'all that the 5YL motion comic is coming out later this year, which you can get updates for over on our Patreon.
Go check it
Also,
out.
to help us fund the motion comic, we're gonna give a quick shout out to this video sponsor.
Sponsor? Oh god. No. No. Die. No. Please. No. Oh, what the hell is this? Rocky. I didn't hear no bell. Oh my god. Blocks. The people who skip the sponsored segment don't get that one. I'm gonna skip it. I don't care.
Unlike the first three, which were made within a couple months of each other, this one was an entire year later. And it's also the longest one so far, but not by much. We never learned where the blood came from in part 1 yet.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. Maybe it's Albedo. Like, he's bleeding himself. His bend form is falling apart or disintegrating or something. I don't know. Either that or Albedo is literally going around just murdering people. We don't know yet. It's kept kind of vague. And I think that adds to the horror.
Oh, he doesn't
I don't
run
want
murdering
everything
people.
spelled out for me yet.
Remember that scene with the plane? Yeah.
That's such a good shot. Heavy, heavy smoke. So all you do is focus on the Ultimatrix, and then the smoke clears, and you see Ben laying there. And I'm pretty sure this is real smoke too, meaning like they made this whole shot right there for real. That's insane.
They need a
Bravo,
big fan
Stan. Beautiful.
to clear out all that smoke that fast.
God, I gotta see that again. Incredible. What a reveal. Incredible. Okay, and this is sick too. See the veins pulsing in Ben's knuckles. And this is well edited because this is still the toy. But now he's not just making it glow and adding holograms. He's like making the inner workings of it. It's sparking, it's steaming. Camera looks higher quality too. I don't know if this is a different camera or if he's just like framing the shots better, but like instantly, first couple of seconds, blows all the others out of the water. I can see why this took a year. Oh, Jesus. That's so good. Albedo's got a little bit of a redesign here because it has been a year and, you know, Stan's got to live his life. He doesn't have the longer tied up hair. It's shorter. In universe, you could say time has passed or like, I don't know, the Celestial Sapien sneezed or something. Okay, it was a dream. Or was it? Flash forward. Ooh, whipped right through those. Although right here in this hologram, you can see Big Chill's arms through his cloak. To make it look holographic, you got to make everything look translucent, including the cloak around the arms. So what this is doing is it's taking every single polygon in the Big Chill model and making it translucent so you can see through the fabric itself and see the skin underneath. Rather than as if all the polygons were rendered out as an image and then turning that translucent, you wouldn't be able to see through the arms. But he twists it, we get Echo Echo, Lodestar, Gray Matter. I like how they shrink up and down.
Yeah.
Transformation locked from playlist.
That's a much better Omnitrix voice too.
Transformation locked from playlist.
That sounds really good. In fact, is that Yuri Lowenthal? Oh
It
my god,
is.
it is. You got Yuri Lowenthal to voice the Omnitrix. That's dope. I was like, damn, that sounds authentic.
Override accepted. Voice
Look, it was my first instinct, like, oh, that's Yuri. Yeah. Just saying, you know, I know. Just saying. God, again!
That was good audio.
Got me
I thought somebody
again.
was knocking.
I don't even have a door over there.
So you can literally hear it like in your left ear behind you. That's good. Now that could be a sound effect too. I think it is. You'd be surprised how a lot of live action projects have completely done sound replacement. Usually it's to emphasize sounds and make things seem more important, or just because the audio they recorded on set isn't that clear. I think it was Castaway, the Tom Hanks movie, where almost all the sounds were 100% replaced.
With sound design, they could control the intensity of the waves, allowing them to be calmer and quieter when other more important sounds needed to be heard. Every time you hear Tom's voice, you're actually hearing an overdub he recorded in a studio, giving them a better simulation of microphone proximity and truer sounding acoustics. All of this together gave them tremendous control over every aspect of an otherwise uncontrollable sonic environment.
I had no idea. That's a really good movie too. I didn't notice anything
Even
about
though
that.
it was
That's
a
really
live
cool.
action project, like it's incredibly commonplace.
I didn't know it was every single one.
Oh shit, Chameleon? I love that I haven't seen this in a bit, so I can still be surprised by it. Nope. That's right.
Nope.
Yeah, all those, I'm pretty sure are sound effects, and I only notice that because I do this kind of stuff all the time too. I'd be very surprised if those were recorded on set, because they're just so crisp and clear. There's no white noise whatsoever. Either that or Stan's got a really good microphone. Ooh, that's sick. They got that drop right there on the spoon, too. I wonder how many times they had to get that right.
Yeah.
I am being a little critical on the VFX, but I guess it's just harder for me to be more critical about people's acting because it's a lot more personal, like that's them. And while Lane always looks great on camera, I still feel like, at least in the future, if we got a little bit more facial expressions from him, I want to be able to have more to read just on his face. And again, this could just be an attribution of his character. Like, this is just how Lane's Ben is, and that's totally valid. But between all the different tones and all of the different emotions, I feel like Lane plays his Ben very stoic. And I guess that just stands out, because normally Ben is a pretty expressive person. It's just like, you know, he's chilling at his house. He's eating cereal. What are you gonna do? He's not gonna be, like, super emotive or anything, so...
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that if you see a drop of blood hit your spoon, your immediate thought is like whenever I was watching it earlier, I thought he was gonna like, because the blood came from above, so I thought he was gonna do one of those like slow head raises to look up or whatever, and then I don't know. That's what I would have thought it would have been, but obviously he ended up being behind him, so that wouldn't have made sense. But you know, I would have done something like or whatever. I don't know.
I guess I don't even feel like I'm criticizing or critiquing anything. It's just something to note. Lane's very stoic portrayal of Ben. There are some moments where I feel like we could read a little bit more on his face. I feel like with every episode, he's leaning more and more into the character, so we're getting there. It also just occurred to me, like, of course they have to have another cameraman to do stuff like this. Unless Lane's literally just sitting there holding the camera. I gotta ask about that, too. Like, who's filming this? Yeah, like right here. I feel like there's a way to get more skepticism in his eyes and such. But, I mean, acting, especially with subtle acting, is a very hard skill to just start making happen. Like, you can't just be like, oh, hey, let's see a little bit more in the eyes, and then he'll just immediately be like, okay, got you. You know, it takes time and getting used to knowing how you look on camera and what you need to do and what muscles you need to shape and contort to get those to read.
Yeah. That's a
ooh,
good point.
I forgot about that. See, Stan's doing a good job with it, but he also has it a little bit easier. Albedo doesn't talk that much, and he's also a very angry. But I feel like I see that in his eyes. Like, Stan's got a very good scowl to him. He looks malicious without saying a word. You look at him and you see it.
Gotta do the crazy anime face. that's how you look scary.
I'm seeing it here too on Lane. You see
a
little
this
bit of fear
this looks
in there.
scary.
So his acting is improving with each part too. I'm really excited to see part 5.
Wait. Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. Why does this look like a face? Why does the light there? You might not be able to see it if you're on phone or something, but it's just like it's two tiny little dots and then a flat line. It's like one of those faces. That's really funny.
It's also kind of horrifying that, like, they're both, like, these shape-shifting, powerful beings, and Albedo just runs up and stabs them with a knife. I feel like in the cartoon that would be a little weird, but the fact that this is live action, I feel like doing something as realistic and relatable and understandable as getting stabbed with a knife adds to the horror. Like,
yeah, it's so relatable. You know, it happens to me every other week.
Back here with the Way Big and Big Chill fight. Like, it's cool, but we're never in a scenario where we're gonna get shot by an alien insect and get completely covered in ice. Like, we'll never have anything to mentally relate to that. Getting stabbed right in the fucking stomach, though, I feel like everybody can, like, have an understanding of how horrible and painful that must feel. So just seeing Ben get shanked, that is immediately horrifying.
Yeah.
Albedo horror. Yeah, and the wooziness. Okay, yeah, now we're... Yeah. I'm liking Lane's performance a lot more. But what's cool is, like, when you see Ben get stabbed here, he starts becoming a celestial sapien. You start seeing that Alien X texture. Like a failsafe repairing him. Going up his face. That's really cool. And now Albedo is his regular self again. He's wearing the Ultimatrix on his arm.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Time's up.
Ooh, and a post-credits. This shot is completely CG though. But who could it be?
Here's a message to everybody watching the
Yuri Lowenthal.
Love
This
that
one was
man.
definitely the best one so far. Stan's learned a lot visually. I still feel like this first shot right here is phenomenal. There's a lot of good storytelling beats here. The whole thing, I'm really liking it. I also feel like it's a testament to how good they're getting because of how comfortable I feel being critical about them. They have enough effort put into this. They have a lot of notoriety following them that it makes you want to look for these nitpicks, you know? I feel like that's really a testament to how much of a success your project has become if people feel comfortable like nitpicking it and criticizing it. So any faults I have with this, any negative things I have to say about it, you guys have made it far enough for people to start seeing the full picture. So bravo. Now I'm about to see part 5. I've never seen part 5 before.
Yeah, I feel bad whenever I say things like the acting is a little subpar. Like, it is. I'm sorry, it is. But everything else is like unbelievably amazing. It's just like that. And I'm not saying that they're bad actors. I'm just saying that they definitely are not actors by like grade. Like they haven't been trained in that or anything. Like they're just doing it for fun, and they're not bad, but they aren't. They aren't highly trained or anything. And it's just, I want to make sure I point that out because I don't want to.
The time I'm recording this, it's not even out yet, so I get to be the first person outside of Stan's bubble to see part 5. I'm so hyped. I'm looking at it on the timeline right now. It's literally longer than the first 4 parts combined. I might not pause as much if I get too lost into the story, because I've never done a breakdown of something I've never seen before, period. So this is a first for me. And when I've never seen something before, it's hard for me to want to pause, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, I have to pause here immediately.
Yeah.
Ironically. But it's the start, so I'm not like super into it yet. We see that Stan is now working with his own original Omnitrix props. And what's even cooler than that is he's combining a CG
with
and a
real
physical
life
prop. The dial right here is CG so that Albedo can interact with it. But Albedo, a Galvan wearing the Ultimatrix, we've never seen that in the show. We have Albedo's 3rd Galvan form, I believe, because he had the one from the flashback. Then we have the one at the end of part 4 here, and I'm pretty sure this is a new one again. It's hard to see in this shot, but I've seen the model because I made the poster for him. He has like this backwards finger. I think that's really cool.
Whoa.
Great stuff so far. So he's taking the Omnitrix core.
Oh, there's a little Omnitrix like symbol in the center there. I never noticed that.
Picking up right off where part 4 left off. Lane's been dead here for a year. Oh snap. You can see the veins like crawling up his skin. It's incredible how much Stan improves every single year. Like this stuff here, the texturing he's using, the blending, the camera work. There was a period of time where a lot of Stan's CG elements looked pretty similar to each other. They had a lot of the same texturing and a lot of the same like white highlights on them. Here we're getting more of a variety of Stan's capabilities and understanding of texturing and lighting. It's incredible seeing the improvement. I couldn't understand.
You cannot understand that at all.
Default DNA. Reset to Galvan.
Reset to
again, I would
Galvan?
just make
Something
sure,
like that.
His robot voices are as clear as
Yeah,
they can be.
that you could not understand that at all. It took us both 3 to 4 tries.
Well, look at that subtle expression there. Like he couldn't have even achieved this with the older models if he wanted to. Human. Yo, that's, I don't know why, but that's cool to me. That's awesome. So now his human form has become a transformation. It's locked. He's locked the human away. He won't be coming anymore. Okay, shit. This is cool. Again, incredible seeing the improvement of Stan. Wasn't I just
Oh
saying
yeah,
that?
it is different. Yeah, there's like, oh shit, yeah, that is vastly different. So much better. Whoa, there's like little. Whoa. I'm gonna let him talk on that.
It should be more like cloth-like, and now it looks like skin.
Looks like
this
skin.
tight, rubbery, fleshy skin.
Whoa,
The
I didn't
face
notice that.
technique, Good
That's crazy.
stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Impact lighting? Whoa. That looks so, and like it's like white on the rings where it like inner where they go through or whatever. Oh, that's so good. I didn't even like think about that before. Oh. Oh my god. That's beautiful.
And the phase technique, good
That's
stuff.
so beautiful.
Good stuff. The camera shake when he phases through the ceiling. But what's up with Ben here? Oh, do you hear that score? That's the classic Sting. That's good. Zooming right into the eye. Okay. There's a lot more readable expressions on Lane too. His acting has stepped up quite a bit. We got a white Omnitrix. That's dope. Looking spiffy as fuck in this void.
Exactly.
Ben, it's so good to finally see you again, kid. I've been waiting a very long time.
Paul Eiding?
Grandpa?
Yeah. I think I'm pretty
That's
sure.
right, Ben. Welcome home.
Oh no, is Grandpa dead in this continuity?
Why can't I see
Sadly.
you?
You're dead. But you don't have to wear the Omnitrix anymore.
You're dead. I love that. You're dead.
The fight's over.
I have to go back.
Yeah, okay, so there's a chance I feel like this is all in Ben's mind, like Grandpa Max isn't literally dead and talking to him. Or it could be. Again, like, I like the ambiguity. Again, shout out to Lane. I can feel his emotions a lot more in this.
No. No one can stop him without the Omnitrix.
It's a really nice looking suit, too.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he now? Oh, Bellicus and Serena. I knew they would be in here, because again, I did the poster, but I didn't know how they would be in the episode. Love this little text card. I like that this kind of looks like Galvin Prime in the show as well. It's got this little swirl right here. And then this, of course, must be Galvin B. This looks great.
Is dead.
Whoa, hold on. What the fuck? Just slams me with a shot of Galvin Prime. This looks awesome. It's like a good hybrid between the Omniverse and the Ultimate Alien one. It's got the technological advancements of the Ultimate Alien one, but still has a lot of organic attributes like the Omniverse one. That's so good.
Put the whole planet in lockdown mode and arm all defense systems.
It's an interesting voice for Azimuth.
No one gets on or off Galvin Prime, no matter what.
This is becoming so cinematic.
Albedo's coming for me, and he's not gonna stop until he kills me. He's dangerous and hell-bent on revenge. Polaris, if Albedo kills me...
Oh, Polaris is back. The fish lady from part 3.
Good Azimuth. Primus is
Oh my god, she looks so good too. Maybe Polaris is like this universe's version of Myax or something. The otherworldly assistant.
We just lost the universe's greatest protector.
Establishing link to go downstream.
Oh, there's the Omniverse Omnitrix. So Ben must have became an adult in this continuity before Azimuth deemed him worthy of this device. So maybe it's because the Dagon arc didn't happen. Because the Dagon arc is what made Azimuth decide Ben was worthy of the Prime Omnitrix. So without that happening, perhaps Azimuth just never got around to giving Ben this one yet.
So if you save my conscience, why can't you just fix the Omnitrix and save my body?
That's a smart workaround too, because we've known that Bellicus and Serena can't exist in the Omnitrix's DNA without Ben, because they're aware of the passage of time even when Ben's not them. So it's like they pulled Ben into their little clubhouse and was like, yo, just chill here, dude, you'll be fine.
We good, bro. Come on, we got drinks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Albedo is the one that was trapped with us for a year. He wasn't very nice.
Oh, snap. That did happen in an alternate continuity, so that must have happened here too.
Well, he'll probably be back if you don't help me stop him.
I think he's got to slow down his deliveries a little bit too.
He'll probably be back if you don't help me stop him.
That's a fair point.
Sometimes just slowing down the pacing in which you say a line is enough to help.
Well, don't fix it. Just fix me.
Motion to restore Ben Tennyson's body?
I like how he's able to get Serena to like look over to Bellicus despite not having eyeballs. Like you can tell.
Oh yeah. Really good point.
This is awesome. And his eyes are normal again.
Oh, that was the point of that shot. I didn't connect the dots. I thought that close up was just a pointless shot. Because from the wide thing, I saw that the eyes were normal. Oh, but yeah, I just that from a story perspective, that does make sense. But I just realized it immediately as I was looking for that. I don't know.
And his eyes are normal again. No Omnitrix though. Although Albedo only took the core, so I wonder what happened to the rest of it. Maybe Azimuth like teleported it back to Galvin Prime or something. This is a really high quality shot too. Plumber's badge.
That it's a little cool. It looked a little jank before it lit up.
Oh, that's neat. So this is like a similar shot to what we saw last time, except last time it was fully CG. This is live action. So who has been contacting? Was it Kevin?
Kevin.
Yo! No way. Kevin.
Kevin, you there? Kevin.
Oh, he's not there. All right. I don't know why I was so excited to see Kevin. That's cool, though.
Ben Tennyson, plumber badge active.
Oh, that's neat. this little detail, how Ben Tennyson's locator is in Australia because
he's Australian.
Stands in Australia. It should seem obvious, but it's just I'm so used to the idea of Ben being in America that when I see it here, it's just cool to see different Ben Tennysons from different variations.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Ben's alive.
Or someone stole it.
Preservation failsafe installed.
And we got the pod. This is a much better looking pod than the one in the flashback from Xylene. In the interview that Stan released a few days before this, he said this was a physical prop, but he did recreate some parts in CG.
This is exactly what it looks like, an Omnitrix pod. It has lights that never got used. It actually opens and closes, but I opted to do that in CGI.
Like the closing of it. And I love the idea of the Omnitrix logo on the side.
Omnitrix on course to planet Earth.
So he's sending Ben a new Omnitrix through the pod. Everything's coming full circle. That's awesome. Ben's rocking them Adidas. Oh, snap. A dolly zoom. That's tricky to pull off. What do you see in there, though? Oh, no. Is that Kevin? Oh, jeez. They got Kevin.
Kevin! No! Kevin!
I feel like this is a transition from like UAF Ben to Omniverse Ben. This episode. This is wonderful. And see, you can read a lot off of his face here too. God, this is gorgeous. Stan, you're making Lane look like a freaking movie star over here.
This bro goes to the gym. It's fucking. He's so jacked.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
Oh, I don't want this to end. I'm actually really getting invested in this. Scans to make sure it's Ben. That's good. Not just anybody can get this. Was this CG? Okay, it is because it looks like the layers shrink a little bit. But this is one of the few times where I wasn't able to tell right off the bat. That's how good Stan's getting. And there it is. How'd it jump up? Okay, it's CG. I thought they were pulling it on a string. I
thought it was real. Oh, man.
That's awesome. Giving him green veins. Probably fusing to his body. So good. And we got a proper credit sequence too. It's dope that they got Paul Eiding for this. I love that he's open to contributing to fan projects. So Stan was Asmith and Bellicus. Albedo was barely in this, now that I think about this. He was like, what, in the beginning? He was like, yeah, he was there. It locks the human DNA, turns to Big Chill and flies off. Yeah, Albedo was not even in this. So no, this was all good stuff. So Stan went from making another one of his standard videos with just a couple of effects tests and a small plot to weave it together to a full-on like movie style experience. It's incredible how far he's been taking this project. Oh my god, yeah, and I can't believe who is Kevin? Who is that? That's not Stan, right? He's not in the credits. But honestly, yeah, really good stuff. Fair. So many different locations, different outfits and costume changes, all these new CG models. He has freaking Galvin Prime over here. And I love the look for the Galvin soldiers in this universe. Only complaint really is like the badge being a little warped. I think that looks pretty rough. Maybe round that out a bit. But is this a whale? What is this? This is looking great. There's got to be a part 6. At this time, this is definitely one of the most ambitious Ben 10 fan projects out there. There's just an unbelievable amount of love and care put into this. I'm so glad Stan gave me an exclusive pre-screening of this. It was very nice seeing the evolution of his visual effects. And now I'm at the point where I genuinely really want to see where the story goes. Like, I've been entertained, but now I'm invested. So let's get Stan to 1 million subscribers so we can see part 6.
I have plans for the lore. It's just if you guys want it bad enough.
So if you do, make sure 20,000 likes.
20,000 likes for this one.
And we want 900k subs.
We want 1 billion.
Get us to 1 million then.
Get us to 1 million.
Now that I've done my deep dive into the first 5 parts of the Albedo series, I guess it's time to hear from the man himself.
Ooh,
I just finished
okay.
editing the breakdown. The bulk of it is 40 minutes long.
Wow, okay, cool. A lot of thoughts then.
Yeah. Whenever I see something, I'm just like, I'll go back and look at one of your old videos and see the evolution.
I'm always changing the way I do it. There's new models coming out, and I have like all these old models that are like ripped from the games, and now that I'm having them custom built by modelers to look more like
I didn't know they just straight up
I'm like, I'm
grabbed
not
them from a
use the
game.
ones from the
That's-
games anymore. I like your shirt,
That's
by the way.
interesting.
Thank you, yeah.
I
no.
got on the new one, but you can't really see my.
Oh,
Can't really
yeah,
see my
I
chest,
guess
but-
I gotta update it soon. Back when you made the first one, there was a little tease for a part 2 at the end of it, but how much of the second part, or even any of the other future parts, did you have planned all the way back then?
Back then, all I had figured out was I wanted to do an albedo horror video. At the end of it, I thought, you know, I enjoyed making this first one and I want to continue the story. So if the people like it, if it receives well, then I'll make a part 2. So that video did really well. It was like one of my best videos at the time and it just blew up. And now I'm like building the lore and making sure I've got the next parts figured out before I actually go ahead and write the script, do the storyboard, do the filming. I want to actually plan it all ahead. So I've got like the next 2 parts, I think, figured out what I want to do. I want to do a prequel. I think the next one will be a prequel and showing how Albedo actually stole the core, came to Earth, and have a different story that I want to tell about what happens with the Ultimatrix and Ben. It's going to be different from how it happens in the show.
That's gonna be really CG heavy though, right? Because this will be
Yeah.
before Albedo
Really
looks
is,
like
yeah.
Ben. So make sure y'all support
take a
him if
while.
you want to see that come out.
There's going to be an explanation too for why Albedo and Ben do look different.
You know something that never even occurred to me. That's awesome that you're considering the lore that deep. Are there any deleted scenes from part 5?
Maybe a few of the gorier ones that I thought I might have got demonetized or banned from. I kind of cut them out a little bit. Yeah, there was a lot more gore.
What's your scripting process like? Like, do you write your scripts based around what friends or actors you have available or what VFX shots?
Definitely. For my scripting process, usually like I'll have an idea. I'll write it down in my notes app on my phone, and then I'll just build on that. I'll put it into a Google Docs. I'll start doing the storyboard and figuring out what shots I can do, what will work in VFX, what I'm capable of, what will work for the actors, and what I think they can express too, because some of the lines I know that they won't be able to deliver the way that I might want. So that's a part of my process as well, definitely. And once I have that all figured out and my friends that are acting out on it are cool with it, cool with the story, I'll go and start going ahead with the filming process. And when there's other things too that I want, like with cameos and that sort of thing, like with Paul Arding in this one, I've got to make sure that I can make that happen before I write the story out to have them involved.
Do you ever just write something and try to figure it out later?
Literally, that's what happened.
Literally
with
every
Albedo
time.
5. I had it figured out for maybe a year or 2 now. In my mind, I was like, I can't do the things I want to do. I can't make Galvin Prime. I can't make Azimuth and Albedo move and articulate the way I want them to tell the story. Can't do facial animation with Serena and Bellicus the way I want to. Now I've gotten to a point where I can do that. And with different programs like Unreal Engine and the way the technology is advancing so fast these days in filmmaking, a lot more is possible for like small budget filmmaking and individuals.
Does that leave any room for improv, or like do things ever change like when you're shooting or editing?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes we'll just be shooting and Lane will say to me, hey, why don't we shoot it this way? Why don't we try this sort of shot? So like in Albedo 4, when Albedo appears behind Ben, when he's eating the cereal, originally that was just going to be a cut to Albedo and kind of like a jump scare. And Lane's like, no, how about we like have it on Ben and then pan around to reveal Albedo? So we tried it and it worked out better. I was like, yeah, it's perfect.
I was actually gonna ask about that later on. I'll skip ahead to that now. When I saw that shot, I was thinking to myself, like, who's filming this? Like, do you have a cameraman?
So when me and Lane are both in the script, either Chad will help film or Lane and I will take turns to help film, or sometimes I have a third friend, Blaine.
Yo, bro, you right, bro? You Casey?
Easy.
He came and helped with the Superman video, and he helped like dig out the crater. We all would dig in the massive crater that Wrath fell from and hit the earth, and out with a lot of that sort of thing, like activating the smoke machine or doing the lights, because we have like a little aperture light. When Ben woke up from the bed in Albedo 4 and activated the Omnitrix, he was actually behind us holding the little light, and when we said activate, he would turn it on, and then the green would hit the Omnitrix and make it look like a hologram light.
Wait, so what are you doing with the light there, bro?
Bro, all I have to do is just hold this and slide.
Like I said.
I can't even do that.
Give us a little slide.
Look at it, boom.
My boy a bit.
Like I said, that's oftentimes how they do it. They don't, because it just takes so much time to light something in post. So why not just do it in the real scene? You know, it's a really nice shortcut in filmmaking.
I can tap it. Okay, I was sliding it, bro.
He also helped out with the blood dripping in the cereal. I was holding the camera. He would squeeze like a drop of blood into the milk.
To happen, Blaine is mesmerized with the blood. Bro, it looks like blood.
That took us so many goes. The first few times the blood just sank straight to the bottom. So we had to figure it out. We're like, oh crap, like how are we going to do this?
That didn't do anything, bro.
I didn't do anything.
Blaine ended up holding the spoon right to the surface of the bowl. And that's how we actually got the shot to work. Because like when it was at the surface, he dropped the blood, hit the spoon, and it looked awesome.
That's funny. These are all things I was gonna ask about. Like when you watch my breakdown, I'm just like, oh, I wonder how many times it took them to get that.
There's like 20 takes of that first opening scene where the smoke clears to show Ben's body, reveal his body. Man, we were working against the wind and waiting for the smoke machine to warm up like each time. So we out here.
What, man?
We got the. Oh, it's ready! It's ready! It's ready! It's ready! Yeah, that's what I like. Like it took us like 2 hours just to get that one shot.
That's my favorite shot out of the all 5 parts is that shot.
Yeah.
Because I had to rewind that. I was like, no way, that looks so good.
Smoke adds so much value, and it made the toy look kind of like realistic in that shot too, like
Yeah.
the toy Ultimatrix prop.
How difficult is it when you blend live action and CG effects, like the Omnitrix pod, or when Albedo takes the core off of the Omnitrix, or even just the veins and stuff, like when you're combining both elements?
So this was my first time attempting to pull that sort of thing off with the CG characters interacting with physical objects, because I've never been able to do that before. It's really, really difficult. All the latest specs to be able to actually have the processing power to pull that off. I thought people would have been able to tell like the pod was CG, like it would have looked really CG, and had a few test people watch the video and they're all like, what, that was CG?
I did the same thing too. I like when I watched that, I was like, is that CG? Like I had to think about it. You're all
I knew it was I knew it was CG. Anyways,
honestly getting so good.
Thank you.
It did look really, really good, but I didn't know it was CG. But I'm just crazy.
Try to improve.
Let's talk a little bit more about the lore itself. I noticed the reoccurring character Polaris. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Please
Polaris
tell me.
is meant to be just like a fill-in plumber character. When she first appeared, I didn't know how to animate mouth or facial expressions,
covered it
so
up.
she had a mask on. She's basically just a plumber that lives on Galvin Prime and helps out with azimuth and that sort of thing.
Is she sort of similar to Myax, like in your universe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So since Azimuth raised Albedo in this continuity, can we expect to explore some more of the father-son dynamic between them?
Definitely, and it's more of the toxic aspect of it
I love how he has all the Omnitrix toys behind him. That's funny.
too, and what drove Albedo to be this crazy killer that he is. I'm planning to have a lot of it to be his upbringing.
How does it feel when folks criticize and critique your work?
It doesn't bother me. I enjoy what I make. I put it out there. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, that's their opinion. They're entitled to have that. At the end of the day, I'm still going to make the kind of videos that I enjoy making and I enjoy doing with my friends. And if they don't like it, that's okay. You know, doesn't bother me.
All right, so I got some rapid fire questions for you now.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Is Grandpa Max really dead in this universe?
Yes. Ben's pretty much alone.
Where's Gwen? Or are we not supposed to know yet?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
But I will explain that for sure.
What was the hardest VFX effect to make in the series?
I'm gonna take a guess at this one. I'm gonna guess Galvin Prime. First shot.
Albedo pulling out the core from the Omnitrix. That took me weeks.
What was the hardest non-VFX shot to get on camera? Like just shooting it?
That's a good question. I have to think about that. Pretty much anything where you know there's going to be VFX, but you can't see it, so you have to imagine it. I would say still Albedo pulling the core out, because I had to imagine where a little mini Galvin is going to be compared to the footage. Either that or when the Omnitrix pod crashes. That was pretty hard too.
Pump it.
Twist it.
Alright, let go, let go, let go.
I dreamed of doing that for so long. I've been wanting to do that for so long, and I just haven't. I've tried it before multiple times, and I just have never been happy with it. And this time, I think I finally got it how I want it.
Who was the actor who played Kevin?
Me.
That was you.
Oh, that was him.
I wasn't
was
sure or
me.
not. I was like, is that Stan?
Yeah.
I can't.
We had someone lined up, but he was busy on the day. He couldn't make it, so I had to step in and shave my beard off and straighten my hair and dye my hair black. And
All just for one shot.
One shot.
That's
Wow.
dedication.
It was two
Dedication,
shots,
yeah.
but one got cut because it was too graphic.
You can have two releases, like the main version and then like the unrated version with all the extra
Yeah.
gore. In part 4, when Ben opens the door, that sounded like a sound effect, so that got me thinking, how many sound effects do you add that people might not know wasn't recorded on set?
Almost everything you hear is Foley or added later in, because when we're there filming it on the day, I'll be like, okay, Lane, open the door now, and I'll be there directing the shot. So unless there's a shot where they're actually talking and the boom mic is in their face, everything else is added after the fact.
That was
or
my guess.
I'm there.
Was pretty much everything except for the dialogue, because it's sometimes hard to, if you're not really good, it'll probably seem wacky if you're dubbing over yourself or whatever. So you try to get that in camera, but everything else you can add in post.
Behind the microphone, like when he picks up the
That was-
plumber's
that was
badge, I
my
have like a
guess.
deodorant can and another bit of metal, and I rubbed it against it, and I'll just be there in front of the mic doing my own Foley.
And last question, what are your plans for the future?
I want to make longer videos. I've only been able to really have the time to do 1-minute videos. With Albedo 5, this is nearly a 10-minute video, and we've been working on this for about a year, so it's really hard, but I really want to just dive more into acting and not leaning so much on the VFX and CGI to carry the story. I want to actually build stories that are longer, go more into detail of use VFX when it's needed, but not rely on it.
Well, thank you for coming on.
That's
and,
really good. I like
let
that.
me ask you
I
all
like
these
that answer.
questions. Folks could be looking forward to a potential collaboration between us in the future. We'll tease it a little bit. I don't want to say too much, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be coming out in the next few months.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking your time out to do
What was
this.
this?
Absolutely, man. It
Month
was,
ago?
it was a blast. We've covered just about everything here, so there's not much more I can say. If you've spotted any of the 5 aliens hidden in this video, make sure
Spotted
you
2.
wrote down those timestamps. Go check out Stan's video for the other 5, and email the address down below where you found them all. Good luck. Hope someone's able to do it. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. And as always, keep it fizzy.
All right, that was Ben 10 horror. I had some points. Kuro had some points. I don't know where to go from here. It's been a while since I've streamed, so I'm sorry. I don't really know what to do. Thank you to everybody who popped in chat, said hello, said their own piece on the matter. Everyone who's currently watching, whatever. Y'all are ugly as hell anyway. Lie. You're beautiful in every way. So, gosh. Okay. Yeah.